The hook. Most people believe that to win an argument you need the best facts, the loudest voice, or the most logic. But psychology tells us the opposite. The moment you try to prove someone wrong, their brain enters a defensive state called the backfire effect. You haven't changed their mind, you've just hardened their resolve. The truly influential don't argue, they guide. Today on Mind Decoded, we are decoding the science of subconscious persuasion. From the Ben Franklin effect to the power of tactical empathy, we are breaking down 14 techniques to influence any situation without ever creating conflict. If you want to become the person people listen to, this is your roadmap. The backfire effect and identity. Why is it so hard to change a mind? Because for most people, their opinions are tied to their identity. When you attack an opinion, the brain processes it as a physical attack. We look at the neuroscience of why logic fails when emotions are high. We'll show you how to bypass the brain's security system by using affirmation theory. By validating a person's identity before challenging their idea, you keep the door to their mind open. Tactical empathy. Influence starts with listening, but not just any listening. We dive into tactical empathy, a term coined by FBI negotiators. It's not about agreeing with someone. It's about demonstrating that you understand their world. We'll teach you the labeling technique by saying, "It seems like you feel." You force the other person's brain to move from the emotional centers to the rational ones. This de-escalates tension instantly and creates a bridge for your influence to cross. The Ben Franklin effect. Most people think we do favors for people we like, but psychology shows that we actually like people more after we do a favor for them. This is the Ben Franklin effect. By asking for a small, non-intrusive favor, you force the other person's brain to resolve a cognitive dissonance. I'm doing something for this person, so I must like them. We'll show you how to use this subtle cognitive flip to turn critics into allies. The rule of reciprocity. The human brain is hardwired to repay debts. In this chapter, we explore reciprocity. When you give something first, whether it's information, a compliment, or a small concession, the other person feels an overwhelming psychological urge to give back. The key to influence isn't asking for what you want. It's providing value so consistently that the other person wants to help you. We'll teach you how to give strategically to create an environment where yes is the natural response. Social proof and the bandwagon. Effect. We are social animals. If we see others doing something, we assume it's the right thing to do. This is social proof. We'll look at how to frame your ideas as the consensus or the new standard. People don't want to be the first to change, but they hate being the last. Learn how to use identity labeling to show people that the person they want to be is already moving in your direction. The scarcity principle. We value what we might lose more than what we might gain. This is loss aversion. In influence, the scarcity principle isn't just about products, it's about ideas and time. Learn how to frame your proposals in terms of missing out rather than gaining. We'll show you how to create psychological urgency without sounding like a salesperson. The power of because. There is a famous study where people were allowed to cut in line at a Xerox machine simply by using the word because, even if the reason didn't make sense. The human brain craves a why. We'll teach you how to structure your requests so they satisfy the brain's need for logic. Providing a reason, any reason, increases compliance by over 30%. We'll decode how to layer your because for maximum impact, door in the face versus foot in the door. These are the two pillars of social psychology. Foot in the door starts with a tiny request to gain commitment. Door in the face starts with a massive request you know will be rejected, making your second, smaller request look like a generous concession. We'll show you when to use which technique based on the person you are talking to and the outcome you need. The but you are free technique. People hate being controlled. The moment they feel pressured, they resist. The "but you are free" BYAF technique involves making a request and then immediately following it with, "but of course it's up to you," or "you are free to say no." By explicitly acknowledging their autonomy, you double the chances of them saying yes. We look at why giving people the freedom to choose makes them more likely to choose you. Chapter 11. Anchoring Bias. The first piece of information we receive, the anchor, colors everything that follows. In a negotiation or a pitch, the person who sets the anchor usually wins. We'll show you how to set psychological anchors that make your actual goals look incredibly reasonable by comparison. Learn how to control the frame of the conversation before it even begins. Chapter 12. The Halo Effect in Influence. Building on our Day 3 video, influence is often tied to likability. If people like you, they are psychologically predisposed to agree with you. We'll look at the similarity attraction effect, how finding common ground, no matter how small, creates an in-group bias that makes persuasion effortless. Chapter 13. The Pacing and Leading Strategy. This is a core technique in hypnosis and high-level sales. Pacing is where you describe the other person's current reality so accurately that they can't help but agree. Once you have a string of yeses, you start leading them toward your desired outcome. We'll show you how to use this in everyday conversations to build an irresistible momentum of agreement. Conclusion and the influence challenge. Influence is a responsibility, not a weapon. Use it to build, not to destroy. Your challenge for Day 6 is to use the Ben Franklin effect. Ask someone you have a slight tension with for a very small favor. Watch how the energy shifts. If you're ready to become a master of human dynamics, hit subscribe. Tomorrow for Day 7, the final day of our launch week. The psychology of resilience, how to build a mind that never quits. This is Mind Decoded.